where the real ones talk and the truth gon' flow like summer, right? Yeah, the spotlight glow from the stars, you know, to the ones about to blow. Hear the stories unfold from the grind in the dark to the diamonds in gold. Every beat, every dream, every risk they chose. We keep it raw, no scripts, no pose. Tune in close, let the energy grow. New voices rising, yeah, we running the show. From the stage to the mic, let the whole world know. It's the Fed Up Show. 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 Yeah. It's the Fed Up Show, where the real ones talk and the truth gon' flow like summer, right? Yeah, the spotlight glow from the stars, you know, to the ones about to blow. Hear the stories unfold from the grind in the dark to the diamonds in gold. Every beat, every dream, every risk they chose. We keep it raw, no scripts, no pose. Tune in close, let the energy grow. New voices rising, yeah, we running the show. From the stage to the mic, let the whole world know. It's the Fed Up Show. 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 Yeah. It's the Fed Up Show, where the real ones talk and the truth gon' flow like summer, right? Yeah, the spotlight glow from the stars, you know, to the ones about to blow. Hear the stories unfold from the grind in the dark to the diamonds in gold. Every beat, every dream, every risk they chose. We keep it raw, no scripts, no pose. Tune in close, let the energy grow. New voices rising, yeah, we running the show. From the stage to the mic, let the whole world know. It's the Fed Up Show. 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 Yeah. It's the Fed Up Show, where the real ones talk and the truth gon' flow like summer, right? Yeah, the spotlight glow from the stars, you know, to the ones about to blow. Hear the story.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Makila Reed, aka Miss Fed Up, and I'm back on Live on the Fed Up Show. Yes, honey, happy Friday Eve. It's almost the weekend, baby. Yes. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in yet again, because this is the space where real conversations happen, real stories are told, and the real people are empowered to walk boldly in their purpose. This show was created to inspire, uplift, and challenge you to push beyond limitations, silence the doubt, and step fully into the vision that has been placed on your life. Whether you're an entrepreneur, creative, leader, dream chaser, or simply someone looking for motivation to keep going, you are in the right place tonight. So go ahead and tag a friend, share this live, and get ready for powerful dialogue, authentic moments, and life-changing insight, because this is Live on the Fed Up Show, and the conversation starts right now. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is another episode of Live on the Fed Up Show with another great guest joining us tonight. Tonight we have actress, author, speaker. She has plenty of titles, wears many of hats, Miss Tina Lifford, and I'm so happy that she has granted us to have her on this platform so she can share her wisdom with us and help to inspire, empower, and motivate those coming up behind her. So let's get ready, because this conversation is about healing, purpose, self-worth, and the journey of becoming whole from the inside out. This guest has spent years inspiring audiences through powerful performances on screen, but beyond the lights, beyond the cameras and applause, is a woman committed to helping people to reconnect with themselves on a deeper level. She is not just an actress. She is not just an author. She is not just a speaker. She is a voice for growth, transformation, emotional wellness, and inner healing in a world that often teaches people how to survive, but not how to truly live. Through her work, her wisdom, and her platform, she reminds us that our inner self matters just as much as what the world sees externally. Tonight's conversation is about growth through pain, healing through truth, and learning how to love yourself enough to evolve into the person you were always meant to become. So tonight, prepare for a conversation that is going to challenge you, inspire you, and pour directly into your spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to Live on the Fed Up Show, actress, author, playwright, and the CEO of the Inner Fitness Project, Miss Tina Lifford.
Well,
Hey,
hey, Makilia. How
hello.
are you?
I am great. How are you doing this great Thursday?
I am wonderful. And I have to tell you, that was quite an introduction. I thank you for that.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And the best thing about it is it's all truth. So that's what makes it even greater. So yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming onto the platform. I sincerely appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to be here, truly. I'm going to make sure that my volume's up so I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. And we're going to jump right into this conversation because I know, like I told them, you wear many hats and you are very busy. So we're going to give it to them right here on the platform of Live on the Fed Up Show so they can leave inspired and empowered tonight. I do want to start by asking you, you've been in the industry a long time. How have you managed to stay relevant, booked, busy, and considered one of the greatest in the industry as well as the industry continues to change? How do you keep yourself relevant?
Yeah. So that's a great question. And, I believe and live my life by the belief that if you can envision it, you can achieve it, right? If you can see it, you can achieve it. So everything I do is very intentional. I knew when I was in the second grade that I wanted to be an actress. And you don't have to know what you want to be. You just have to know who you want to be, how you want to feel, how you want to wake up and meet life every single day. I was very clear about that. And I don't know how other people do it. There are millions, billions of us here on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I do it is not only do I set an intention, I am always playing the inner game,
Yes.
which means I am far more concerned about what is going on inside of me and what I want and how I can use the power that lives in me to manifest what I want on the outside. If I am focused on me, then I am better prepared to respond to however life shows up. Relevance is about being relevant to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Relevance is about making sure that you're getting up every day following your dream or whatever is calling you. And when that lights you up inside, it creates a force outside of you that
Mm-hmm.
allows you to constantly be present with it, constantly do whatever is necessary to make it happen, constantly be in the vision of it happening.
Most definitely, most definitely. You're definitely right, especially the part about chasing your dreams. And I tell people when I go speak to the younger generation, you have to believe that you are somebody before you can persuade others who don't know you to believe that you are somebody. So it
Yeah.
is all about knowing yourself for yourself first, before you even try to listen to what the world has to say about you. So that I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, and I'm going to make a distinction between chasing your dream and following your dream.
Mm,
For me, it's about following the dream. When we're chasing it, there's an energy inside of chasing it that means we might not catch it, right? There's an
Yes.
energy that is sort of like what I call survival energy, where we're
Mhm.
panting and we're worried that we're not gonna get there, we're not gonna catch it. But if I'm following it, that means I have accepted that this
Mm.
is calling me and that I am walking in the steps behind it
Yes.
as best I know how. And it knows where we're going more than I do.
Yes. I like that. That's my first time ever hearing it like that. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna change what I say because I normally say chasing the dream, but I'm gonna start using I'm following the dream. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. See, wisdom. I told him we were gonna get some wisdom tonight. Well, before success and recognition, who was Tina Lifford becoming behind the scenes before we knew her?
That's a great question. And I tell my friends all the time, I'll talk to a friend that's been a friend for 30 years, and she'll say, "Girl, what you up to?" And I say, "I'm doing the same thing today that I was doing when I met you." And so, what I mean by that is, um, I, I, I came here knowing that this thing called life is an extraordinary opportunity.
Mhm.
When you think about it, I think the statistics are something like 1 in 400 trillion, and actually, I think it's even far greater than that. That one would show up on the planet as a human being. So the odds of us being here are super, super, whatever that is, super small, right?
Yes.
Right? Infinitesimal, actually. And yet here we are.
Yes.
And I knew that I wanted to live it well,
Mhm.
right? And I don't mean just physically well. I mean, like, how much how big of a smile or a sense of accomplishment can I have in my heart when I die, right?
Yes.
That has always been on my mind. And so that's exactly how I have been living my life the entire time, paying attention to the fact that this is going to be over very soon. No matter how long you're here, it's a very
Mm.
short period of time to be here,
Yes.
right? And so
Yes.
I have always, again, been intentional. I have always wanted to discover how much I can get done in this lifetime.
Yes. Yes, 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 most definitely. And we got some people in the comments agreeing with you, saying yes with the praise, hallelujah hands. And Arthur Alicia said, yes, follow your dream because you realize it is your calling and your gift, which it will make room for you. So yes, most definitely. You got a lot of people saying amen in the comments to
Yeah,
that answer to that question. Can you hear me? I left my mic on the other side of the room, but my son just slipped it to me. So can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, all right, all right. And then I do want to ask you as well. A lot of people think success means that you've become rich. You have the lavish cars, the lavish houses. What does success look like for you, especially now that you've gotten to the status and you have made it to where you're world known, and a lot of people look up to you and call you a legend in the game now. What does success look like for you now?
So um, I define success as feeling aligned with my life, on purpose with my calling, and feeling empowered to make self empowering choices all along the way.
Yes.
The idea of success that most people have in their heads, that is such a small part of the gig.
Yes.
Because you will wind up, you know, getting the houses, or, you know, being around people that you admire from
Hmm.
afar,
Hmm.
and discover that there's a whole lot that is required of you that you may or may not want to give. You may not want to become the person that that success says you need to become in order to have it.
Yes.
And so success for me is, can I hold a vision and be connected to myself as whole, purposeful, and worthy, be resilient, and own myself, and not let anything, any disappointment,
Hmm.
any challenge, any change leave me like, you know, at the side of the road feeling less than and not good enough. Success for me is having the dream and holding on to myself at the same time.
Yes, yes. And that's a question I love to ask people. And that is, the world is steady changing. Social media has a lot of people in a chokehold trying to fit in and be something that they're not, because they see that's what's on the screen and they think that that's what they have to be in order to get to where they want to be. How do you make sure you stay true to yourself, and you don't switch up, especially for Hollywood?
Yeah, I have spent a good portion of my life developing or strengthening my relationship with myself. Right? There's, I see people all the time, sort of just staying so busy, you know, just
Hmm.
just staying really, really busy, staying ahead of themselves, and there's a element that feels like folks are running from themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't want to stop and be with yourself, because you're scared that if you stop and be with yourself, you discover that you are less than, and that you don't have what it takes to get there. But here's the thing:
Hmm.
if you are running from yourself, then you already have this anxiety inside that is telling you that you're not good enough, that if you stop, you're going to fall apart, something is wrong. And so now, if you just keep trying to get to where you want to go that way, you're going to be trying to get there, but inside always thinking that you don't belong there.
Yes, yes, that's good. That's yes, most
Right?
yes,
And
yes.
so the fastest, my daddy used to always say, the quickest, or he would always quote physics, you know, the shortest distance between two points is a straight line. So if you want the most, if you want your dreams, if you want a life that is beyond where you are, then you have to ask yourself, who do I need to become to get there?
Yes.
And that takes spending time with yourself, so that the things that are in your way, you can realize that those are not anything to really to stop you. They are things that if you use them, you can use them for your good. You can use them to get to where you want to go. My book, The Little Book of Big Lies, it says that a lie is any event, experience, person that has left you feeling less than, not good enough, or incapable, or afraid of yourself and running from yourself. And lies are just experiences that happen to us, and then they leave us with this sense of self that
Hmm.
has us anxious and nervous and feeling not enough. But
Hmm.
when you realize that that's just part of the human condition and everybody is handed a lie, Now you go to the next step, the step that most people won't get to, which is, how do I use this lie, this misconception? How do I trade it for the truth?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to tell you a truth
Mm-hmm.
that you can write down, whether you believe it or not. Writing it down and being curious about this will help you be in a better relationship with yourself. And that's this: every single human being comes to the planet whole, purposeful, and worthy, not broken. You don't need to be fixed. You just need to train your relationship with yourself. The way we train our bodies and our physical muscles, we can train ourselves to let go of the lies and reconnect with the truth, which is, you came here whole, purposeful, and worthy. That is present in you right this moment. And now the question to ask, and you can just ask this question out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do I have to do to remember or to reclaim myself as whole, purposeful, and worthy? And when you ask that question, you give your subconscious, you give your universe, you give, if you whoever your higher power is, you open yourself to the answers that are waiting to help assist you to let go of the lie and adopt this more empowered sense of yourself.
Yes, and you brought up your book while you were just talking, the little book of big lies. It is still available. Where can they purchase this book?
In any bookstore. You can go to Amazon and get it. You can go to Barnes and Nobles. You can go to BAM, any bookstore.
Okay. And now they know you are an author as well, but that's not the only book you have written. There's another one as well. I believe it's the Inner Fitness Revolution.
Yes, it's the
Yeah.
Inner Fitness Revolution. Your road path to freedom and joy.
Yes, yes. And that one is available in all bookstores as well.
That's correct.
And Amazon. Okay. We need to make sure we grab those books. Because that little insert that you just did, I was pulling up Amazon on my phone while you was talking. And I'm going to go ahead and order that. I'm going to go ahead and order that one. Because a lot of us do need it. And especially those who suffer from anxiety that's trying to enter into the entertainment industry or whatever career path they choose, when they're trying to realize or figure out who they are and what all they want to do. My therapist told me that. She said your mind is steady running, trying to figure things out, and it's causing you to have anxiety attacks. And she gave me a brand new journal. She said, I want you to write in this journal. And she said, writing is your release, because I do stage plays too. So she said, writing is your release, and I need you to write it out so we can get rid of this anxiety, because it would not control you. And I told her, okay. So the way you just broke that down, I believe I figured out what part of my problem is. What part of my problem is.
That's
So
you.
yes. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Yeah. Anxious thoughts create anxious behavior, and then it just becomes a loop, right? But when we can divert our attention from the anxiousness and just ask ourselves to remember, okay, so who am I beyond this anxiousness or underneath this anxiousness? And if you just start to tell yourself, well, you were born whole, purposeful, and worthy, and then ask out loud the question, and how do I reclaim that? How do I become more of that identity and less of this anxious person?
Most definitely. Now, one thing we have grown to love you for is your shows, and one of our favorites. We all talked about it a few weeks ago. Is Queen Sugar. How important has it been for you to portray strong Black women throughout your career?
Yeah, it's been an honor, right? Because for so long we didn't see ourselves on the screen,
Mm-hmm.
and Aunt Vi from Queen Sugar, she was a woman that all of us have in our families.
Mm-hmm.
That matriarchal force, that matriarchal love that person who is always wanting to make sure that the family stays together and that the family has one another's back. And the thing about Aunt Vi that was so exciting was she wasn't just there for the family. You know, Ava DuVernay broke the mold when she acknowledged that Aunt Vi also has needs and a heart and desires. So often, up until, within the last 10 years, I think so many strong women who were considered the matriarch and put on the pedestal of, having to care for everyone. The problem with that is that oftentimes their needs and their own humanity wasn't seen or witnessed by other people because they were always the one that people went to for what they needed, not for who she was. And Aunt Vi had a very rich life, right? She had love in her life, she had ambition in her life, she had entrepreneurialism in her life. She was a full functioning human being, and we really hadn't seen that, particularly in that age range, up until Queen Sugar.
And I think that's what made a lot of us love it and relate to it and stay tuned in every week to watch it. And I don't know, I can't speak for everybody else, but I cried on the finale. I cried, baby, because like y'all was taking my family from me. Like, what am I gonna do now every week? Because you in Hollywood, and then that's like we watching our own family on the television screen. And you played that role. And when I posted you for the first time, everybody kept saying that's Auntie Vi. That's not her real name. But you played the role so well that I'm pretty sure when you're out and about, somebody still say, "Hey, Aunt Vi." so yes, kudos to you for that role. And like you said, we don't see that representation a lot on screen, and I hate the fact when we finally do get it, it seems like we don't get it for a long period of time. It's like the seasons go by too quickly, and then here we are in the finale. So thank you for bringing life to Aunt Vi, to where we could relate to her and understand her and just love her, so yes. And then also that brings me to ask you too, what role have you played that impacted you emotionally? Is there one that impacted you emotionally more than others?
Tell me what you mean. Are you an actress?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me what you mean impacted me emotionally.
That you related so well to the script because you faced that type of situation in your real life before, and it resonated with you and brought up some old emotions or feelings.
Okay. So it is my aim as an actress to find that place inside of me that is absolutely in resonance with the character. As human beings, we know all the emotions. We all know pain, we all know suffering, we all know shame, we all know, joy. We all know all of the emotions. And as an actress, my job, my honor is to be willing enough to go inside of myself and meet the character who has called me forth so that her life can live. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So acting isn't an ego thing for me. It is completely and utterly about the honor of using my body for someone else's story and healing. That's the character and the audience. So, I want to say, that any character that you put in front of me, I would be willing to delve inside of myself until I find the essence of her journey that most represents her so that I can bring her life to light.
Yes. And I like the fact that you said healing, because one of my questions was going to be for you. Do you believe that truthful storytelling and relatable shows have the power to help heal communities and generations?
Yes, I do. I absolutely do. See, truth always heals, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
That's why telling ourselves the truth is really that fastest path, that shortest distance between 2 points is to tell ourselves the truth. Because even if we don't like it, even if it hurts, the truth always heals.
Mm-hmm.
And we may not like it because we are sitting in old ideas of ourselves, or we're sitting in judgment of ourselves, or we're sitting in confusion and not knowing how we can achieve or move beyond whatever our struggles are. But the moment the truth starts being told, it's like little drops of salvation, little drops of healing, little drops of awakening. That's what the truth is.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, when you watch something and you can feel someone's real emotion, even if the show's not good,
Yeah.
even if the show's not good,
Yeah.
if you watch it and you can actually feel something when that woman says what she says, or sheds the tear that she sheds, or has
Mm-hmm.
the joy that she has, it's not just hers. Because if you can feel it, there's a part of you that is responding.
Yes. Yes. And when we're talking about truth, what is a truth about womanhood and self-worth that society fails to talk about?
That it exists, and that you can't, and that it it has been oppressed, and it is each woman's responsibility to to learn to cherish ourselves.
Yes.
It's every human being's responsibility to learn to cherish ourselves so that we can protect ourselves from the abuse and oppression and ignorance of the world,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Most definitely. And for those that want to embark on this journey, who want to enter into the entertainment industry, be an actress, a producer, a director, a writer, whatever it is they choose in their gifts, for them, their gifts to do for them, what are some sacrifices they need to be prepared to make on this journey?
Well, I'll talk about strengths and then sacrifices, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
First thing, you got to know yourself, because otherwise you will do whatever you think you have to do in order to get that job.
Mm-hmm.
Harvey Weinstein, Diddy,
Mm-hmm.
those stories just represent
That's one.
a culture
Mm-hmm.
that is waiting for folks who don't know themselves, or folks who are so desperate,
Mm-hmm.
and think that and out of ignorance, and that's not a negative term, but
Mm-hmm.
if you don't know how a thing works, then you might assume that, oh, the fact that this big important person wants to touch you inappropriately, that must be the way you have to do it in order to work in this business. And if you don't know better, then you might say yes to that just because you don't know.
Yes.
But knowing yourself, um, you know, being involved with a community that understands your aspirations, so that you can ask questions and have conversations about what the business really requires, so that you have a greater understanding of what you're saying yes to, and what your boundaries will be. So first and foremost, you have to be good at what you do.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, you have to have a talent or a personality that people are going to say yes to. So you got to work on that part. And then you have to be in relationship with yourself in such a way that you don't give yourself away out of desperation. And then in terms of sacrifices, I'm going to tell you, no one thought that I would achieve what I have achieved. That you say you want to be an actress and people roll their eyes and think that everybody wants to do that. My daddy
Mm-hmm.
didn't want me to be an actor because he said they all are broke and on drugs. I mean, my drama teacher told me I didn't that I would only play maids, right? So
Mm.
so everybody has an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have to have a connection with yourself that overrides other people's opinions. You have to know why you're doing what you're doing for yourself. And in terms of sacrifice, when I was at the beginning of my career, not knowing how the heck to achieve what I envisioned in my mind, my friends were driving BMWs and I was driving a fastback Volkswagen. My friends were living in 3,000 square feet apartments, and I was living in I think it might have been like a 700 square foot studio, and I lived in a 100 square foot studio for 10 years. But I had a plan,
Yes.
right? And when I moved from that studio, here's a thing that I really suggest. I never lived above my means because as an actor, you don't know when your next job is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And when the good jobs come, it's it's wonderful. The money that they bring is wonderful, but you want to make sure that you are saving that money or you are using the money that you are earning in the good times to invest it in some way so that you can rely on that money when things aren't as abundant. And that's going to be the case. That's the case for everyone in this business. It ebbs and it flows, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to be okay with driving up to the parties in my Volkswagen. I had to be okay with living in this little tiny single for 10 years. But when I left that single, I bought myself a duplex. And then I would flip properties and things like that. You need a plan. You
Gotta
need a
have a
plan.
plan. Gotta
And
have a plan.
I'll tell you one other thing. I absolutely did not want to be a starving artist.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was willing to hustle, and to
Mm-hmm.
do that entrepreneurial thing with flipping houses and so on and so forth because I didn't want to be desperate and sitting by the phone and saying yes to things that weren't a fit for my vision.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Most definitely. And a lot of people may not know you've been in the industry forever. South Central. Okay. First of all, I'm only 41. So I just learned about South Central probably just a few years ago. Okay. And it's crazy because when I see you in that and then see you in I'm like that, yeah, that's all. So but you've been around a long time and you do have some insight and you do have some wisdom to share for those coming up behind you. And that's what the platform Live on the Fed Up Show is for. I want it for those like myself and others who don't have a blueprint or don't have anyone that we can actually reach out and touch that can tell us, don't do this, okay, don't do that. This is the route you should take. Well, this is the route I took. A lot of us don't have that blueprint. So to have people like yourself step onto the platform and say, hey, you don't need to be desperate, because if you're desperate, it's going to have you in some situations with the lights off and testifying in the courtroom. You don't want those type. You don't want to be in that type of situation. So thank you for that. Thank you for what you just told us, because we can leave here, a little wiser than we were before we started listening to this live tonight. So thank you for being honest and not being, as the people say, scared to give us all the insight, the good, the bad, and the ugly. One
Yeah.
thing I've watched over the last few weeks while watching you and your page and getting to know you outside of TV, fitness. Fitness is a great deal for you. I see the comments and people say health is wealth. Can you give us a little story on your journey and how you went into the fitness journey?
Yeah. So my fitness journey is inner fitness,
Mm-hmm.
right? And inner fitness is, physical fitness strengthens the muscles. Inner fitness strengthens your relationship with yourself.
Okay. Okay.
And it needs to be trained as much as you train your body.
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I became committed to my inner fitness at the beginning of my acting career, because in the fifth grade I had a stage fright experience that left me sometimes experiencing intense anxiety or overwhelm in the audition process.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't happen on the set, but in the audition process, there was great anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to figure out how to how to move beyond that. And so I started, being involved in spiritual communities and doing workshops, and the more engaged I was with decoding me, discovering me, the more I wanted to discover. And then I realized that it offered me such a sense of relief, to be able to have a way of viewing or seeing myself in the midst of anxiousness, and see myself in a way that wasn't judgmental, see
Yes.
myself in a way that made sense so that I could, work with myself with greater clarity and information. And that's why I wrote both books, The Little Book
Mm-hmm.
of Big Lies and The Inner Fitness Revolution, because
Mm-hmm.
I wanted answers and nobody was handing me these
Answers.
answers,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
People don't want to talk about the internal experience that we all are having. And that's part of my passion is, you know, for us to normalize the inner fitness, to
Mm-hmm.
normalize and talk about how the brain works and the
Yes.
things that happen automatically when you understand that there's a part of us that's always in survival.
Yes.
There's a part that is, always capable of thriving. And then there's a part that is the best of all. And that's that, I call it the infinite or the God part. That's the part that really does confirm that we
Mm-hmm.
are born whole, purposeful, and worthy. And all we have to do is learn to work with ourselves,
And grace, and give ourselves grace.
give ourselves
Um,
lots of
yes,
grace.
yes. I had Erica Hubbard on a few weeks ago, and she was talking about her book, and why she wrote it. It was the same reason. She said because she was facing some things, and she realized she wasn't the only one facing them, but it wasn't enough resources out there to help her in her process. So she wrote her a book, sort of like yours, to help others who were facing those inner thoughts and stuff. So thank you for that. To go through some things and then be willing to write about it, so that the next person who's going through it, who don't know where to go get resources from, or who are ashamed that they're going through those things, they have something to go to, turn to, and read. So thank you for being willing and bold and courageous enough to even write about it. I do also want to ask you as well, beyond acting, what impact do you hope your voice leaves on those who witness your speaking engagements, read your books, and follow you on social media? What impact do you hope that you leave on them?
Everything that you just said.
Okay.
Everything that you just said. my desire is that people be able to breathe deeply,
Mhm.
that they can breathe that sigh of relief, that they are not broken, and that they can work with themselves, with better tools,
Mhm.
and create more of who they are, let out more of who they are. you know um i I'll tell you, and I think that this is true.
Mhm.
I ask myself, is this a true statement, Tina? And I don't know that I I don't really have, like, okay, I'll say it like this. I don't expect to be remembered, right?
Okay.
And that's a really positive statement. I'm not living to be remembered. I am living to live this life well. And so, if in doing that, I can share something that helps someone else live these two, basically, we get 2 seconds on the planet. When you think
Mhm.
about, how much time is infinity, right?
Mhm.
But we
Yes.
get 2 seconds. You hear older people talk all the time about how fast life goes. It goes by so quickly.
Yes.
And so, how do we make sure that we grab hold of this experience and experience it as a gift more than punishment, or more
Yes.
than this, this hell that we want to get out of? So I hope that something I do or say lights up some part of someone and helps them to move beyond the lie that holds them small, so that they can see more of who they are.
Yes, yes. And woman to woman, okay? I told him, I said I love everybody, but now when it comes to my black people and my women, I'm a little more, yeah, like that. But for women out there that watch you, for those women that's feeling stuck right now, those women who don't feel like they are worthy enough, or they don't know which direction to go out there and follow their dreams. What just a piece of advice you would give them that may help them on to tonight or tomorrow to go ahead, and I tell them to bust a move. That's what I like to tell people.
That's beautiful.
Yes, ma'am.
That's beautiful. So, two little things. Number one, when you look in that mirror, have a good conversation with yourself. Say, you know, I I am worthy of more.
Mhm.
I am worthy of more, because you've got to condition your own sense of self, so that that sense of self can actually serve you,
Mhm.
right? If we're
Yes.
beating ourselves up, then that's how that self will serve us. It'll just help us beat ourselves up more.
Mhm.
But if you're telling yourself that you are worthy of more, then that is going to help you move beyond the lie, whatever the lie is, right?
Mhm.
And then, if you start to include this simple sentence in your thoughts and in your conversations, up until now and from this point forward. Up until now, it's been however it's been. Up until now, I've been, anxious. Up until now, I haven't believed in myself. Up until now, I've been oppressed. Up until
Mhm.
now, whatever it is. But from
Mhm.
this point forward, it can change for the better. And when you say from this point forward, there's a possibility that becomes present right where you are. And
Yes.
you just want to build more of that sense of possibility. So watch how you talk to yourself.
Mhm.
Watch how you talk to yourself, because how you talk to yourself is how you love yourself.
Good stuff. Most definitely, because words have power.
Yeah.
They're
And read
definitely power.
read both of my books. The Little Book
Mhm.
of Big Lies is a great place to start. And the Inner Fitness Revolution, it tells you everything you need to know about how to strengthen your relationship with yourself.
Yes.
I'll tell you really quickly
Yes,
if you
ma'am.
want, like, you know, um, we have 14 practices for inner health and well-being, and they wind up being prompts that can help guide how you respond to life throughout the day,
Mm-hmm.
in real time. And so if you pick a number between 1 and 14, I'll tell you what that particular practice is, and then you can tell me whether or not you relate to it.
Okay. 8.
Practice number 8 is I ask to deeply and profoundly love and accept myself and believe in my value.
Yes. Now, I think I'm already that. I do that. I do that well. I will say I haven't always done it, but I've been doing it a whole lot over the last 2 years when I turned 40. When I hit 40, yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
And it's interesting because you picked number 8, and number 8 actually speaks to the question that you had just asked. What advice might I give women? Right.
Uh,
And so when you meet up with the doubt or the no, that practice number 8 reminds you to just in the moment ask to deeply and profoundly love and accept yourself and to believe in your value. And the moment you shift your attention to a aim, a vision, a goal for yourself, it's
mm-hmm.
just like the goal of acting or any other goal that you might have. Something pulls you towards it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that number 8 has resonated with me. Like I said, when I hit 40, and that's when I made the decision. I said, "Listen, I know what I want, and I'm not gonna say was scared to do it, but I hadn't put my all into making it happen." And when I started telling myself, "You can, you will, and you are worthy for the recognition you're looking for. You are worthy for that, for you to be able to conquer the dream that you're following." I started moving different. I started moving so different that the great Tina Lifford is on my platform tonight. That's how I started moving different. I told your assistant, I said when she emailed me, I said, "Listen, I'm gonna do the professional response. And after I'm done with this professional response, I'm gonna give you the personal one." I said, "I'm over here in full blown tears right now because I'm a true fan of Miss Tina." So I thank you. I thank you because it not only gave me more of a mission to keep moving forward, but now those who are watching me, especially those little girls from my small hometown, they can say, "She did that. I can do that too." So thank you just for saying yes and being willing to come onto the platform, even if it's not a million follower platform yet. You still said yes, and that means a lot. It means a lot to me. I'm sitting over here in awe. I'm just taking in everything you're saying, like like a teacher to a student. So yeah, so thank you for the wisdom. Thank you for the books. I am going to order both of those books, and what I'm also going to do, I have a few people who've commented on the live. For them, I'm gonna inbox if they want the book. I'm gonna get them the book as well, so that they can have it as well. I have a few. Miss Linda Maddox says, "Listen, I love Unvi, especially on Queen Sugar, one of my favorite shows. I hate that it ended." I thank them for tuning in. So I want to bless somebody. Those is like it's about 4 or 5 of them that's been continuing to come in. I want to bless them with your book. They gonna get one of them. I'm gonna get one of them. They gonna have to get the other one. But I'm gonna bless somebody with the book because I really and truly believe that I know I suffer from anxiety, but I believe that that book will help a lot of us
Yes.
who wasn't
Start
aware
with
of
the
it.
little book of big lies. Go start there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So I do want to say again, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your wisdom with us. It has been a powerful, healing, and transformational conversation that has been experienced tonight. I had a comedian on last night, and he broke it down for me. So I'm gonna be real with you. He said, I watched a few of your clips. He said, you're so positive, and that's why your numbers are not high. He said, if you were on here doing drama, you would have went viral by now." He said, "But don't stop. don't change, because eventually the world is going to take note to what's going on and they're going to tune in. So don't switch up. It's enough people doing drama. And I told him, I said, well, when God gave me the vision for it, he told me, stay true to what I'm telling you to do, and I will open that door for you. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to do. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm going to do. So thank you for sharing your wisdom and your heart and the truth with us tonight. Your words reminded us that healing is not a weakness. It is courage. Growth is not perfection. It is the willingness to evolve. So tonight you have challenged us to look beyond the surface and being doing the inner work necessary to truly become whole in ourselves. So to everyone that watched tonight, let tonight remind you that your value is not determined by your struggles, your past, or the opinions of others. Your healing does matter. Your peace matters. And your inner self deserves the same care and attention you give everything else in your life. Take the lessons from tonight and give yourself permission to grow, to heal, to forgive, to make some mistakes, to resolve those mistakes, become better and wiser, and just become who you were destined to be. Miss Tina Lifford, is there anything else you want to leave the people with tonight?
No, this has been lovely. I'm so happy we were able to spend some time together.
Yes, ma'am. Most definitely. To my Fed Up family, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for those that commented. Continue to support the meaningful conversations, and make sure you follow on YouTube under Fed Up Productions. I tell y'all, every episode is free. Just hit subscribe, okay? And watch us every night that I do come live. The next guest will be this Sunday. There's an entrepreneur out of Atlanta who's opening up a new R&B Soul Experience Cafe. He will come on and tell us about that experience. So join us again on Sunday for another impactful episode of Live on the Fed Up Show. Until next time, everybody, stay healing, stay growing, and make sure you stay fed up about your purpose. It was the great Miss Tina Lifford on here tonight, and your girl Makia Laree, aka Miss Fed Up, and we came live on the Fed Up Show. And until next time, we'll holler at y'all. Good night, everybody. Peace. Thank you.